Hey, what's going on everyone? Zeryth here. So today's video is going to be my patch 5.3 Frost Decay guide, and let's just jump right into it. So for your stat priority, you're going to want to get a 3% hit, a 3% expertise for your melee, and then you're going to want to maximize your strength, and for your secondary stats you're going to want to reforge into either Haste or Mastery. Now I prefer to reforge into Mastery because I really like the increased Howling Blast and Frost Strike damage, but it's pretty preferential. So I basically make it half and half, and I reforge half Haste, half Mastery, but sometimes it depends on the situation. So yeah, maximize your strength, haste, and mastery. I don't really go into crit because you have Killing Machine procs and it makes it not necessary, but yeah, that's my thought on that, my take. I'm going to leave all the enchants and my gems in the description so I don't have to go over it right here and make you guys pause the video. It'll make it a lot more difficult, so I'm just going to leave a link to everything in the description. All my gems, all my reforging, and the reforging is basically the same as your stat priority. Get 3% hit, 3% expertise, maximize your strength and your haste and your mastery. So yeah, I have strength, all strength gems. I'm all strength this patch because PvP power and PvP resilience are pretty weak since they implemented the 65% PvP resilience and then nerfed both PvP power and resilience. So yeah, it's all strength, guys. Next I'll go into my talents, my glyphs. First here I'm using Roiling Blood for the disease spread. I really like it because I can just apply my diseases, use a blood boil, and everything around me will be infected with blood plague and frost fever. So I really like this one as a talent. You can go into this if you're with a class like a monk that needs to have the incapacitate, and the disease won't break it if you use Plague Leech. And this is for more burst, so if you want to go into Unholy Blight, that's always an option, but I prefer Roiling Blood. Second tier I use Lichborne for the healing, still really overpowered. You can heal yourself back up to full if you use it right. I'll show you guys the macro in a couple minutes. Anti-Magic Zone I don't really like, I never really liked it, but it's just preference I guess. Purgatory is for PvE Death Knights or something, I don't know. I haven't ever used it. Third tier I'm using Asphyxiate because right now I'm with a rogue friend, and his 2-piece set applies crippling poison to all the enemies. It's basically Chillblains, so I can go into this extra stun, so I really like it. But in Battleground situations I'll go into Chillblains because it provides the 50% slowing effect to my enemies, which is really great for getting a lot of pressure on them. So that's really cool. I don't really like Death's Advance. You can try it out for leveling, it'll give you that 10% passive movement speed, which is pretty cool. Fourth tier I went into Conversion because I like the super healing it does now, especially if you're riding in Blood Presence the whole time. I found a bug for it, and basically you use this macro. This macro I have right here, and I'll link it in the description. All the macros and stuff are going to be in the description, so keep a lookout for that. But yeah, you use this macro and you spam it, and it'll double the healing of the conversion because every global cooldown it will reset it. So that's pretty neat. Death Pact I use when I'm facing high burst teams like Ret Pallies and BM Hunters, but yeah, I like that because I can just get the match over real quick, heal back up to full, get it done. And for my fifth tier I'm using Blood Tap because I like having all the control over my runes. I can just get a few Frost Strikes up, activate Blood Tap, and it'll give me a Death Rune and give me a lot easier rune management rather than the very RNG Runic Empowerment and Runic Corruption. So that's why I go into Blood Tap. It's really great. I have it macroed to almost all of my abilities. For my last tier I went into Remorseless Winter. Now I usually do this for like arenas or just regular battlegrounds, but for RBGs you go into Gorfian's Grasp, and sometimes if you want an extra trinket you can go into Desecrated Ground. But like I said guys, it's all preference. I really like Remorseless Winter because it's a stun and it's really great for me. Getting into the glyphs, I have Glyph of Icy Touch for that dispel effect. It just keeps so much pressure on mages and stuff because you can just dispel their little barriers and stuff, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, I go into that. I also go into Glyph of Enduring Infection, so my diseases are not dispellable, which makes it so that I have the 25% increased damage to Obliterate, because for every disease you have on the target it's increased 12.5% damage. So 2 diseases, 25% extra damage, more pressure from your Obliterate crits, awesome. And third, I went into Glyph of Anti-Magic Shell. It causes your Anti-Magic Shell to absorb all incoming magic damage up to the absorption limit, which is pretty sweet. Gives you a little more survivability. Your minor glyphs don't matter besides this one, Glyph of Resilient Grip. When your Death Grip fails, its cooldown is reset. Pretty sweet. Okay, now getting into my macros. I don't have many macros, just I macroed all my abilities, most of my melee abilities, to Blood Tap, so I can manage my rune. I have this slash cast conversion, and I macroed Horn of Winter to my Howling Blast whenever I use it. It'll just activate Howling, or my my Horn of Winter sometimes when I have it up. So that's pretty sweet. I like that one. This is my Death Pact heal. You press it twice and it'll heal you full when you're using Death Pact, or heal you 50% of your max health. I don't really use it a lot, only against high burst teams like I said. And this is my Panic macro. I stopped using this because it's completely unnecessary, but I'll link it just in case. What else? I have a Blood Presence, Frost Presence macro. This is pretty useful. Oh. Okay, yeah, this is pretty useful. You can switch between Blood and Frost Presence pretty easily instead of having to click it. That's pretty awesome. Macro Frost Strike and Blood Tap together, Obliterate and Blood Tap, Necrotic Strike and Blood Tap, and other than that I don't really have anything, I don't think. If I do, they'll be in the description like I said. So, yeah, that's basically everything, guys. Now I'll get into the basic PvP tactics. So, everyone asks for a rotation. Now, in PvP, there's no such thing as a rotation. It's just all priority. So your priorities as a Death Knight, as a Frost Death Knight at least, is to get your diseases on the target, Physical Vulnerability, Frost Fever, and then apply your Plague Strike, which is Blood Plague, and then when you have Runic Power like this, or you get a Killing Machine, always use your Killing Machine on an Obliterate. It applies so much pressure onto the enemy, and I usually prefer to use Necrotic Strike before I use my Killing Machine proc, because it'll apply a lot more pressure and the healers can't heal through it. So, basic priority as a Frost Death Knight, get your diseases up, get a few Necrotic Strikes out, and Runic Dump on Frost Strike, and use your Killing Machine procs on Obliterate. It's basically the pretty simple PvP tactics. Defensive wise, you just kite around, use your Chains of Ice a lot. It's a very useful spell and it generates a lot of Runic power. And Blood Boil to spread your diseases. And you can always use your Death and Decay when you're running around trying to kite a bit for that increased damage, AoE damage. And if you're close up, have a lot of people on you, use Remorseless Winter, and it'll stun them all, which is really cool. And if you're stunned, you can use Icebound Fortitude to get out of the stun. Pretty awesome. Oh, I didn't show you guys my death heals is what I call it. It's my Lichborne Heal. /cast !Lichborne /cast target equals player death coil. So what that does, you spam it as much as you can once you have Runic power, and it'll just keep healing you. Look at that. And it's up for 10 seconds too, so 69, that's about 200, 300k healing, so that's pretty sweet. Oh, this is my Hella buff. This is my burst trinket, or my burst macro as well. I'll link it all in the description. Sorry for the mess up. I'll pop this when I'm applying pressure onto the target. So, apply diseases, Necrotic Strike a couple times, and then pop my burst. Frost Strike, Frost Strike, Frost Strike a few times, Necrotic Strike, and then I'll Obliterate a bit. Yeah, usually use your Killing Machine procs on Obliterate. If you don't have an Obliterate up, it's definitely okay to use it on Frost Strike just to get the pressure out, but try to use it on Obliterate as much as you can. So, because that'll allow you to get more Necrotics out. And you can always use Outbreak to apply diseases as well. So, just keep that in mind. And other than that, use your Death Strike if you're getting a little low. Apply your Soul Reaper when they're below 30%, when they're at about 50% health. so it can get adequate time to tick. And other than that, it's pretty straightforward, guys. Get gear and own it up in the battlegrounds. If you have any questions, feel free to write it in the comments, guys. I'll go over a few PvP situations next. And yeah, hope you enjoy this next video of just me owning it up for a couple seconds, showing you basic priorities as a Frost Death Knight. I'll walk you through it a little bit, show you how it's done. Thanks, guys. Alright, guys, I'm just going to do this clip live. So first I'm going to apply my Outbreak, and then I'm going to spam Obliterate, because I still have a bunch of runes. And then, see, I had 134k, and then I'm going to Rune Dump with Frost Strike. And I can, I'm using my Rocket Boots to get to him. I'm going to spam Obliterate again, 142k at crit, and he's dead. So now we'll kill this FC, apply diseases with Howling Blast and Frost Strike. I'm going to kick that, AMS because I'm fucking getting wrecked. Ow! Whoop! I don't want any part of that. Okay. Kill that guy. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. There's no living. Ah! Yeah, conversion! Let's get that up. Oh my god. Is there any way of surviving this? Do I have any food? Okay. So anyways, that's the basic rotation. All you do is you apply your diseases. I usually like opening up with a bunch of Obliterates because it has such high damage even when it doesn't crit. Or I'll apply Necrotic Strikes. And then Rune Dump with Frost Strike. And rinse and repeat. Use your Killing Machine procs on Obliterates when you have them. This guy. Oh! I have a warrior on me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna kill this guy real quick. I don't have any runes. This is lame. Okay. I can range that because he has parry up. The AMS. So he parries every friggin' thing to do that. Kill that guy. Ah! Everyone hates me. Oh well. But yeah, that's the basic rotation for a Frost Death Knight. Yeah, so that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. I want to go get these orbs. Either way, guys, that's about it. So everyone, that's the end of the video. I really enjoy making guides like this, so keep a lookout for maybe a dueling guide in the near future. We will see, but I'm not sure yet. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.